Hello the internet! It is Thursday the 12th of December 2024 and welcome back to the channel. And welcome to Crookhaven Heads, where I've got a little test I want to run here. Got myself a new solar blanket, a iTechWorld 300w solar blanket, and I want to see what kind of wattage it can gather from this beautiful specimen. The sun blaring down at us right now on a bloody marvelously warm morning. There are already two 160 watt panels on the roof of Govan. However, they're cheap and they're not giving the greatest reading of wattage. Once we add the iTechWorld 300 watt blanket to the mix, we should see an overall increase. We'll isolate and we'll addition. So let me show you how I've got it set up first. There is the new iTechWorld 300 watt solar blanket kit. Here is my solar setup. On the roof of Govan, there are two 160 watt panels. Here is where it all comes in together. This is the Redarc BCDC Alpha 50B. This is a fantastic little unit, but that's aside from the point. These two little Anderson connectors, the top one is from the roof of solar. The bottom one is from the external Anderson connector on the front of Govan, where this guy will plug in. Now, why is there a switch here? This switch separates solar from alternator. This device prioritizes, for some reason, solar. It's a bit strange. When you're driving, the alternator is going to give you way more juice than solar could. So we've installed a switch here that just turns off both of these. And you can check it by turning it off. This light will go off now. No solar. Turn it back on. Solar. So what I want to do is fire up the app for the BCDC and we will be able to see what this one, the top one, which is the roof, is actually giving us. Here comes the app here, connecting to the BCDC. So what we can see there is the voltage coming in, 17.6, and the current amperage draw is 6 amps. If we go to a calculator, we go 17.6 times by 6, 17.6 times by 6, 105 watts! It should be close to 320. Like I said, the existing solar panels, they're very cheap from the four-wheel drive Supercenter. Oh, the other things too, I've got the fridge rolling here and the inverter on. So that's what's drawing the currents, and we're drawing, yeah, you saw the amperage that we're drawing here. 6, it's gonna refresh here. Wait for it to refresh. 6.7 amps and 17.5 volts. So what I'm gonna do just quickly, there's nothing coming in on the bottom solar, but I'll unplug this guy. Now we've isolated everything, you should see this turn, yeah, there you go, that turns right off. So there's no solar coming in. The car's not running, so there's nothing from the alternator. So there is no voltage coming in. So what I'm going to do now is get that sucker out and set it up. Okay, well that took way too long for me to suss that out, but you've got to go from left to right, not right to left. In Australia, we go the other way usually, but there you go. That's how it sits up, and we'll plug it in now. It does come with its Anderson connectors. And then this guy goes in here. Plugged in. And instantly we see voltage. 17.2. We see 17.2 and 19 amp. Let's do the math on that. Put you up here. So we're seeing 17.2 volts and 18.5 amps. 17.2 times 18.5. 318 watts. So that is giving the exact reading, a little more so than what it actually is rated at. 318 watts. That's a win, right? Now, why don't we just try, out of curiosity, let's plug back in the rooftop and see how that alters things. So if I turn this back, now if we plug in the top solar as well, we're getting both solar inputs cranking. That's in. What did that do to the reading? Let me just check. It says we are now receiving 19.4 volts, and the amperage has dropped. Interesting. The amperage has dropped down to 13.6, 12. That's too overexposed. Hold on a second. 11.3 amps and 19.7 volts. That's not good. 11.3 times 19, what was it? 19.8 it is it right now. $223. What? So I think what we can assess there is that the cheap solar panels from Super Cheap Auto, no, the four-wheel drive Super Center, these cheap things, they're cheap and nasty. You get what you pay for. The iTechWorld 300w solar blanket with the Raptor skin cranked it straight away. These guys are hampening the output or the joint output. My advice, or what I'm going to do in this instance, is I'm going to leave these attached while I'm driving and whatnot, and when I pull up somewhere they just get a trickle feed of their charge. When we get to campsites, we just plug in the power blanket and let that roll alone, not in conjunction with the other ones. That's how we're going to roll with it. If you've enjoyed the content and it's helped you, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next upload. What a beautiful morning. Yes, it is.